Africa stretches from the Mediterranean, past the Golden Sahara through mountains and savannas, to the Cape of Good Hope. It's known for its enormous diversity and the richness of its wildlife, home to a good number of mesmerizing natural wonders. Nonetheless, Africa still has an undeveloped tourism industry and high costs of traveling in almost every country. It is still a vastly unexplored continent by travelers, with large stretches of almost untouched nature. Some are very well known, while others are still gaining fame. They include powerful waterfalls, deserts, high mountains, canyons, and national parks. So, let's take a look at the top 10 natural wonders in Africa. Number 1. Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert is described by many as an ocean of sand. It is the largest dry desert in the world. Its boundary stretches from the valley of the Red Sea in the east to the Atlantic Ocean in the west, the valley of the Niger River in the south to the Mediterranean Sea in the north. The size of the desert 9,200,000 square kilometers, and that it is almost the size of the entire United States. Officially recognized as the hottest place on Earth, one would think this absorbing landscape would be totally devoid of life. A wide array of species call this desert home. Dama gazelle, single-humped camels, goats, and various species of fox have all adapted to survive and thrive in this harsh terrain. The desert is also home to several wandering tribes or nomads, while some settlements can be found in the oases of the desert. Several tourist activities, like camping, wildlife viewing, cultural tours, and camel rides, are arranged in certain sections of the Sahara Desert under expert guidance by those who know the desert well. Number 2. Mount Nyiragongo is an active volcano, 3,352 meters in altitude, that's home to the world's largest lava lake. It takes an average of 5 hours to hike to the summit of the volcano, and it's a challenging climb. But once you get there, you'll be greeted by one of the most incredible sights on the planet. An enormous, bubbling pool of lava, one of the few active volcanoes on the planet that's accessible to humans. And then comes the best part: spending the night. There are a dozen huts at the top of the volcano, so once you've arrived at the top, you'll choose your accommodation, then settle in for a night of wonder. Number 3. Underwater Waterfall. The remote island in the Indian Ocean, 2,000 kilometers away from Africa, is a very attractive tourist destination. The underwater waterfall, located on the southwestern shore, might serve as a signature of Mauritius. It isn't an actual waterfall, but an optical illusion. The sediment of sand and silt create this dramatic sight. The reason for this is that the island is relatively new and a formation of it is still present, causing an underwater slope. You will not find this dazzling view anywhere else in the world. Number 4. The Blyde River Canyon. Stretching for 26 kilometers, South Africa's Blyde River Canyon is the largest green canyon in the world. This great wonder of nature welcomes visitors from all over the world. With lush vegetation, a blue river, and the occasional waterfall, the canyon makes a wonderful stop if you're heading to the Kruger National Park for a South African safari. You can travel here year-round to take a hike through the forest and witness wildlife, like hippos or primates at their nature preserve. The canyon has an average depth of 760 m, and there is a huge amount of plant life in the gorge. The canyon is also home to the wetlands of the Swadini Dam. It's also a popular place for bird watching, and the views are some of the most beautiful in the country. Number 5. The Victoria Falls. Victoria Falls is the most famous waterfall in Africa and probably the world. It is certainly worth the hype, and besides being an African wonder, it is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. These falls are an inspiration to us all in terms of its beauty and overall grandeur. The wide basalt cliffs and rushing torrents of water will instill awe in any onlooker as the water thunders down onto the ground below. There are several unforgettable activities to do in Victoria Falls, like whitewater rafting in the Zambezi River, helicopter rides, bungee jumping off the Victoria Falls Bridge, and swimming in the Devil's Pool. Each season will bring a different look to the falls, and there are several different ways to see it. But no matter what you decide, your adventure will be amazing, and this natural wonder won't be forgotten anytime soon. It is an incredible experience just seeing and feeling the water of these waterfalls. Number 6. Serengeti National Park. It is the most visited park in Africa. The tropical and subtropical savanna covers 14,763 square kilometers of area. It's famous because of its vast majority of animals. Predators and their prey form the dramatic scenery. Often dubbed the world's ultimate wildlife spectacle, the Great Wildebeest Migration, also referred to as the Serengeti Migration, is the largest and longest movement of wildlife on the planet. This is the movement of over 2 million wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles across the African continent, and more specifically Tanzania and Kenya. The animals migrate in a circular motion year-round in search of green pastures where they can freely graze. This yearly circle of life and death is at the top of the list of many safari-goers to Africa. It is truly a marvel of nature, and you can find several tours in which to witness this grand event. Number 7. Nile River. The Nile River is the longest river in the world and a must-see if you plan on spending some time in Africa. It flows through Egypt and 10 other African countries, forcing its way through canyon walls to form the Murchison Falls. It meanders through the Sahara Desert and flows north towards the Mediterranean. The best way to experience this is to go on a river cruise. You can go river rafting or kayaking. The Nile River ends in a large delta before draining into the Mediterranean Sea in Egypt. It is this river that gave birth to and nurtured the Egyptian civilization and the Sudanese kingdoms. Most of the major historical and cultural sites of Egypt are thus based along the banks of the Nile River. It has been used for trade and irrigation purposes as well, and a trip down this famed river is well worth your time. Number 8. Okavango Delta. The Okavango Delta is possibly the most famous thing about Botswana, its most popular tourist destination and natural landmark. It is easily one of the most well-known natural wonders in Africa. Who hasn't seen a wildlife TV show about the animals, flora, and characteristics of the Okavango Delta? It flows along the Caprivi Strip at the top of Namibia before an ancient rift turns it southeast into the sands of the Kalahari Desert, thus giving birth to the only river delta in the world that flows not into open water, but a desert. The waters brought by the annual deluge are cold and crystal clear and attract huge amounts and diversity of wildlife. Animals travel from all over to escape the heat and take a drink from this oasis. There are predators and prey that you have the possibility to see on walking and horseback safari adventures. Also, its magnificence and scale, the Okavango Delta has been declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Number 9. Mount Kilimanjaro. Approaching Mount Kilimanjaro, one of the most iconic and breathtaking natural landmarks in Africa. Whether you come to climb it or simply marvel at this amazing, snow-capped tropical peak, It's the tallest mountain in Africa, standing at over 5.895 meters, and is actually a dormant volcano. Also the easiest of the 7 world summits to climb. You don't need any special equipment to attempt this climb, so nothing is holding you back from making the trek up this mountainside. You might not finish it in 7 hours, like one Swiss climber, but the 5 to 9 days it takes you to make the journey will be completely worth it. Most people see Mount Kilimanjaro while on a safari. The beautiful mountain makes for an incredible backdrop for spotting elephants, giraffes, hippos, and more. Not only is it breathtaking, but it has unique characteristics, unlike other mountains. Number 10. Table Mountain. Table Mountain is a flat-top mountain overlooking the city of Cape Town, and is probably the most famous landmark in South Africa. The iconic peak is overlooking the vibrant city and attracts hikers as well as climbers. Although it is easily accessible on foot, there is also a cable car, which is so popular among the visitors. The views from the top of the mountain are amazing, and you can see almost the entire city and plenty of its surroundings. Hiking up Table Mountain is a very popular activity, with several spectacular trails available. On the top of the mountain, you can find a coffee shop, a souvenir shop, and several lookout points. With more than 4 million yearly visitors, it is the most visited national park in South Africa. Africa's astonishing beauty and diversity needs no introduction. To explore and take in the plethora of wild attractions on the continent will take a lifetime, and each traveler will undoubtedly be drawn in by different sights and sounds. Africa is a vast continent full of diverse landscapes and unique experiences. Some describe it as a magical destination that touches you like no other. Certainly many people who visit Africa return over again in search of new adventures. With so many natural attractions in Africa, we wish fantastic your experience and have a safe travel. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.